Welcome guys, Brandon here from Terminated Gaming. We're once again back on World of Warships with another replay. This time, once again, in the Tier 10 Grocer Kurfürst. This is before patch 10.3, the patch that supposedly will end the dominance of Deadeye. This video will also serve as a way of not how to play your secondary build GK, because hopefully, maybe, with this Deadeye change, we might no longer see ships that just sit in the back and snipe, and more of the old mid-range and brawly ships get their necessary comeuppance. I have nothing wrong with long-range ships such as the Thunder or the Amato. The fact that we just saw them so prevalently in the Vermont and all those, any of the ships that normally wouldn't sit back and that would sit back and snipe, but we saw so many of them due to this Deadeye, and ships that normally wouldn't had to take Deadeye in order to remain competitive. Through all of that, I still remained my normal secondary build GK through that whole time, and I'm hoping that with this change to Deadeye, we see more diversity in the ships again, and every ship can have its place still in World of Warships. Anyways, this battle. Tier 10 ships, there's Tier 8s involved in this match. A pretty decent matchup. I really like this map too. I launched my spotter plane here because I was like, oh hey, I'll just shoot at the Kremlin there who's going to be sailing broadside, and then the Kremlin decides to start turning, so I was like, it's a terrible shot. So I'm just trying to find a target that I can shoot at and actually hit. That's the problem, is trying to figure out what I can actually hit and do damage to, because I don't want to fire at that guy and then do nothing. Can't shoot anything into this mountain in front of me either. So I'm kind of just drifting here in the middle. The other GKs went over to support C. The other GK on the team, that is, went over to support C. I also wasn't going to shoot at those destroyers for the fact that I'm pretty sure I was going to miss, and I was not going to be very effective against them. So I take shots at the Salem over there. I let my secondaries shoot at the Lightning, who I already had previously put as a priority target. 2 overpins against the Salem. Enemy Bismarck's firing a She at me. Really ineffective, as he hit really towards the armored sections of the ship. And this is a full secondary build GK, as you would spec into it in the current game. And as you can see, the accuracy at closer ranges is not bad with GK. The problem is when you try to take it out into those positions that GK would not be comfortable in, such as the further than 15, 16 kilometers. Once you're within that, and especially once you get in within the secondary range of GK at 12.5 now, this ship is devastating. Pretty darn devastating. I don't actually switch priority target over to that Fletcher because I knew he wasn't going to stay lit for long. And I started my Hydro due to the fact that he was lit there for a minute. This Fletcher is going to be playing pretty poorly, in my opinion, as he is going to be trying to gunboat more than torpedo. And I mean open water gunboat. There's nothing wrong with gunboating in an American DD. It's just, it also has torpedoes, and those torpedoes are pretty darn effective. But he's going to, I guess to the benefit of me, not use them very much. So we're already 4 minutes into this match, and I've done a whole 10,800 damage. Woo, right? Great. Great start to a match. Brandon, this is boring. I thought this was going to be a little bit more fun of a match. Well, for the longest time in this match, I didn't think it was going to be fun at all, because GK hasn't been super enjoyable. I've had good matches in GK. It's one of my more consistent ships, except for the fact that I lose so much in it. It's one of the more consistent ships for me that I play. Yay, overpen left him on 74 health. Woohoo. Anyways, GK is a fun ship, and I would have guessed it would have probably been way more fun before Deadeye became a thing, when everybody was still not so chicken to push up and, use their health wisely, not dumbly. There's the Fletcher torpedoes. My hydroacoustic search is about to go down 2 here, which is to my detriment because this lightning exists. And I can't spot the lightning without the hydro, but hey, I'm still going to do the stupid maneuver and go around this corner and try to engage the lightning. I get spotted too going around this corner by the Drake, who has been I haven't seen in a long while. Thankfully, we actually do spot the lightning here, and the lightning stops. So that makes this an easy kill for us. We just keep turning and slowing down here, and his torpedoes will miss. Because he'll probably put them as if I was going to continue straight. Or he didn't even launch them. That's the other option, too. Might not have had enough time. I train the secondaries onto the Drake. The Drake's going to, you know, try to not be shot by me. He kind of doesn't care that I exist anymore. Which, that's okay. I also don't care that I exist. But we're going to try to take shots at him. He's going to get hit from the other side. I'm going to aim poorly, because I always aim poorly. That's that 32% accuracy that I have in the game for you. At this point, I realize, hey, there's not going to be any torpedoes coming from that guy. I'm still kind of worried about where that Fletcher was. And so I'm going to start speeding back up again. And not really getting very many hits with the secondaries, but at this range, you're not going to expect that many. I aim for as if the Drake's going to turn into those shells. And, oh, hey. 3 Citadels. That's almost like last match. You guys should go check that out in the playlist up above. Shameless plug. Anyways, now we've dealt with most of the ships on the other side, besides the enemy Gearing, who's almost dead, and this Palmer in here. So, with those guys effectively kiting away now at this point in the match, it's time to take this GK and do something that GKs normally shouldn't do in the current game, which is, I'm going to cap B. But the fact is, it's going to take me a hot minute to cap B. I pop my Hydro here because, you know, the Fletcher is obviously spotting me. I let the secondaries go up on the Fletcher. I'm not going to fire the primaries at the Fletcher. I fire the primaries at that Palmer, because the Palmer is broadside to me. We get a nice 20k off of him, but he's also returning fire against us, as he should, because I'm broadside to him, and he shaves about 10k off of us. So not a bad trade on our part, and I think he'd probably be, that's an okay trade for him. I turn the secondaries for that Gearing in case I can get shots on the Gearing. Not going to be able to shoot them with the main guns, obviously. They can't traverse far enough. More shots out on the Palmer. The Minnesota actually kills the enemy Gearing. And we're getting to the point almost where if that Palmer gets a little bit further away, I can stop shooting and I will no longer be spotted. Which is what's going through my head right at this moment. So I've came to a complete stop. He bounces his only shot and I am no longer spotted. So the fact of the matter is if I just stay unspotted, I can cap. Will I do that? Probably not, because I will get spotted here shortly from the other flank as they are pushing. The Prince Eugen is going to be close enough to spot me. I get spotted when I fire there against the Palmer, and I think the Palmer did spot me. But the Palmer's kind of still waited for us, because I figured he probably figured that I was going to be impatient and fire. And to his benefit, or to our benefit, he only does 8k damage. But it's enough for me to think, oh hey, I'll pop a heal here. And I can no longer be undetected in this situation. So I'm trying to push to get my guns more onto the Eugen at this point now. But then I go unspotted again. I put the secondaries onto the Udaloy, who's the closest thing to me. And hopefully they will take care of him when he comes around that corner. Trying to get my guns around to shoot at this Kremlin. Didn't know that I could just clear that church, to be honest. I think I took out the steeple a little bit, and I think I overled the Kremlin as well. We actually get resilience, which is one of Lucian's weird perks. So we're actually healing a little bit of health for that. So we're up to 90,000 health. But then the Ohio's quickly like, no, you don't need all that health. My secondaries did go off against the Fletcher there for a second, so we'll see if we get any hits from that. Fletcher double strikes, gets our Shimakaze and Fletcher with torpedoes. Really dumb on our teammates' parts. Really good on that guy's part, on the Fletcher. So I was like, I thought I actually shot through the church with those shots on the first one against the Kremlin. So I was like, oh, so the church doesn't count. And then I realized the church does count. But we do get a couple hits against the Bismarck. Palmer's turned around at this point, and as you notice, I've been in this cap forever, have not capped it yet. Secondaries going off against the Ohio. I'm actually turning my guns to help deal with this Palmer, because if we can get these guys over here, we better chance of standing a chance against these few ships that are left. Palmer takes out our friendly Colbert. We lose 5,000 more health to the Ohio here. I'm also getting squared up so that way I can start going through this against that Ohio. The two destroyers on our team that got torpedoed by the Fletcher are going back at each other saying one's dumb for just sitting there, and yeah. They're arguing about who's worse at the game when they both got torpedoed in a smokescreen by another torpedo boat. I think they're both at fault. One of our guys, you can see it in chat there, our BBs are only and then the female anatomy part. Or a flower, you can call me a flower too. But I've been sitting in the B cap where the destroyers haven't been for this whole match. So our two destroyers got killed by another destroyer, and then now they blaming the team. Actually, that's the Colbert. I apologize. That is the Colbert that's complaining. The guy that was open water against a battleship and lost. So I'm still waiting to try to get rid of this Palmer before I go around this corner, and I also really want this cap. And I finally get the cap because I'm no longer being spotted by anything. There's nothing that could see me, which was great. I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, hey, can the secondaries shoot over that at an angle enough so I can steal that Ohio kill? But no, nonetheless, that's not going to happen. And like I said, I'm still trying to sit here. Instead of pushing forward against those 4 ships, I'm trying to help get this Palmer dead. Because if you notice, our GK actually turned away from the Palmer, which was smart because the Palmer has torpedoes. We kill the Palmer in there. That frees up our GK, so he has to turn around, catch back up again. Our Minnesota's actually gotten into B with me now. And in front of me, we still have a Jutland and a kiting away Seattle. The Ohio in front of me is also burning to death. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I can come around this corner and kill him if he's not dead by the time I'm around the corner. The Ohio kills the Seattle. Minnesota gets shots off on him, so I'm... Well, the Jutland actually killed him, but Minnesota had shots off on him, so... I can come around here without being shot, but I was spotted for a second, so they fired at me. The Kremlin gets 1 bounce off of me. So, not terrible. Could be better. Eugen gets spotted right here. Eugen can't tank shells unless I get unlucky here at this range. Secondaries on him. I could fire the front guns, but I'm holding my fire until I can get them all off. Trying not to hit the island. But I also don't want to give him the easy range against me. We do a decent amount of damage there. If a couple more shells would have hit him, we would have killed him. But at this point, I was thinking that I had enough secondaries in the air to kill him, and I didn't, so I have to quickly switch back over, but the Jutland gets him before anything bad happens here. That was too quick of a reaction on my part. If I would have left it there, I probably would have got the... I would have got the Eugen with those. Kremlin is almost full health. He's about 20k off of full health at the start of this fight, and I'm at about half. And his guns hurt a lot worse. We finally get the secondary battery loader here for 100 secondary hits. For as close as we were this match, it was not close enough. I'm turning my main guns to face the Bismarck and using the secondaries against the Kremlin here. And in all honesty, maybe the other way would have been better, but I'm trying to keep a better angle against the Kremlin here than I am against the Bismarck. But this is the nice thing about the new secondary mechanics compared to the old before 10.0, is they could fire from both sides. Even though one side's less accurate, they can fire from both sides. And actually, they can fire, the same side can fire at multiple different targets if they can't actually see the other targets. If they can't see the primary target on that side, they will target multiple different ships, which is awesome. And now at this point, I can no longer get my Kraken. I'm always 1 kill away from a Kraken, and in this case 2. GK finishes off the Bismarck, who is on 1,000 health. This Kremlin is trying to get more of his guns to bear, which is really dumb. And he eats a couple torpedoes for it, too. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, I might just ram the guy. But my front guns are loaded now. My rear guns are loading. There's 2 Citadels and 35k off his health. He just has 7,000 health left. I can easily kill that. And there you go, another Citadel to kill him. So, post-fight results, 242,000 damage. We had a Dev Strike. Dreadnought and High Caliber that match, 79 target hits, 199 secondary hits, and 6 citadels with 4 kills. We also kept a base, solo kept, so that's awesome to do in a battleship. Came top of the team, 2,275 base XP, about 400 to 5. Actually, it was really close to 500 more than our next highest, which was our Seattle. Our Jetland also played that fairly well. Detailed results: 61,000 against that Pommern, 60,000 against the Kremlin, 49,000 against the Drake, and those all being kills as well. We killed our enemy Lightning, and then we did 30,000 to the Bismarck, where our major damage sources there. 194,000 came from the main guns, 47,000 from the secondaries, and 736 from fires. Wow, right? We only did 1.9 million potential damage. We weren't really being shot at all that often. And when we were taking more damage. 128,000 damage taken, almost 129,000. GK is a tier 10, not a premium, 401,000 credit profit. So, hope you guys have enjoyed. If so, a rating would be much appreciated, and I'll catch you guys most definitely on the next one. Peace out.
Shut up and sit down.